from this April, Singapore BCA require use European code, then a lot of calculation have to be cannot make by manual calculation, so have to use software to help us.
I think nowadays the building structures have become more and more complicated. Architect always come out those structures and the buildings are full of imagination. So I think it's not the old days the building are regular in elevation and in plan. So we need some tools to help engineers to do this complicated analysis.
It will definitely be very time consuming if we were to do our own calculations, manual calculations, and do our own design all manually without the software. The software can help us in saving time, saving much more time. And the software really helps in improving the efficiency of our design work. And it also provides us with more accurate results from the modeling, and from the analysis we can get more accurate results as compared to our hand calculations. Because hand calculations we tend to be more conservative in our assumptions.
It probably will take you more time to come with the result, more time. Like for example, last time we don't have MyDAS, I use Excel or spreadsheet Excel, so it takes me like around 1 week or 2 weeks to complete certain thing, certain design. But now I have software, I can complete within 2 days.
I use MyDAS since 10 years ago. Based on my own experience, I think MyDAS is quite good software. Basically, it's very good in high-rise building analysis. Those seismic and time history pushover. I'm a bit surprised at that time. I think why those Japanese companies they use Korea software. I think because Japan is they have the long history of seismic design, so I think they should have their own software at that time. But I'm quite surprised they bring the MyDAS. Yeah, at that time I'm very surprised. That's the first time I know MyDAS.
So comparing the different software, I find that MyDAS, probably the input part is a bit more steps. It's a bit more steps to create a model, but the flexibility is very much better than the other software from my point of view. So as I develop, then as I progress in my career, then I start to lead the team. So I also, because my team also use my pattern, so as the team grows bigger, then we have the need. So I raise the issue to my boss to say, okay, our team now we are using MyDAS, then we are not having enough license for all the engineers. So he started to buy more. That's how we develop. So my view is, so far I'm very pleased with MyDAS product. That's why our company is using it a lot. All our engineers learn MyDAS.
So only since I select your MyDAS gen, then RC works, steel works, and composite works can all soft in one go in under one roof. I can easily transfer between the input and output, can easily amend, revise the material, revise the section, also revise the loading condition and the boundary condition.
When we consider seismic and load cases, we have to generate so many cases. MyDAS gives how to generate one combination. That is very useful for us.
MyDAS gens can offer us the solutions on stage constructions, which we could not find comparable in other software at that moment of time when I purchased MyDAS gens.
MyDAS gen is very reliable and the result is accurate and practical. I do the comparison with other software, even I manually calculate by myself. The result is only no more than 5% different.
I think the results are reliable. For the first time when I use it, I did a manual calculation on my own, and then I compared the results with Midas, and it was very near the results. Then from there we can also look at the detailed beam results or detailed structure results from the function, and then the workings are all clearly typed out. So I think it's generated nicely in a report format. Or then if I don't understand or what, I can look at the Midas output results and understand from it. I think it's quite clear. All the formulas are already there, so if I can't find it in the Eurocode, but I can just refer to the output page for the formulas.
Actually, compared to the previous BS code and the Singapore local CP codes, I think Eurocode is very comprehensive. Those codes are interrelated, but not like previous, like CP65, the Singapore concrete design code. They include everything in one code. So basically, you read one code. They are actually interrelated to other codes. When you read EC2, you have to read all the rest. But previously, like a CP4, BS8110, you only read one code. You basically know how to design the concrete structure already. But now you have to read other codes. I mean, this one takes a long time for engineer to know all the code.
So you can have all the formula step by step. You just need to follow. But Eurocode is more to like the guidance, more things to be considered. Yeah. More. So it will take some time for an engineer to really shift from BS code to a Eurocode, especially for those the elderly engineer like my boss. We have been using Singapore code, BS code for a long time, but suddenly we switched to Eurocode. It takes some time for changing the way of design. But with the use of software, then it's very convenient.
BS code like still is based on table and diagram and graph. We can pick up the value. Whereas Eurocode is more on formulas, equation. So it's not very easy doing all this complex equation to get the answer.
Actually now for Singapore, for those building higher than 20 meters, so authority is already asked that the building to be designed for seismic resistance. So actually, basically you can see building higher than 20 meters means most of the building in Singapore will be designed for seismic. I think almost every project need to consider this.
For me, I'm still okay with it because I study Eurocode in school, so I can relate to the design they provide for us and the design calculation that they show us.
I believe that now Midas Eurocode, now, which I understand now, has actually specifically written for Singapore context. You have Singapore Annex being written into your software, which actually allow us to use Eurocode much more easier. Yeah.
The technical support is very good. Every time I encounter any issues, I just drop an email, Mr. Kapil or Mr. Daegood Kim. They will reply very fast.
What we ask is aiming for queries, the response will be very fast.
I think Midas best because when I learn, every time I call company, sometimes I write the email to you as well. I think your guys are reply very fast. Even sometimes they send video also how to use, how to pick that particular command, the procedure. I feel support is compared to other software in Midas service.
The technical support, so far so good. Normally I either call Kapil or call you, then can get very fast response. By email, by WhatsApp, normally within cannot say 24 hours, sometimes even 12 hours can receive your formal email. Time is very important because we are doing the business, so we need to respond to client's requirement very fast. Sometimes even I working very late, then I shoot you the email. I hope tomorrow morning 8 o'clock I receive your response. Waiting for answer sometimes is very painful because I stuck there.